Hello YouTube, Salivate Metal here, and I have been in some discussions with M Vaughan about the price of silver, and more specifically, the US dime, as a purchase of precious metals to preserve your wealth through these times and uncertainty in financial situations, whether or not to hedge against inflation or deflation. It certainly is a smart buy, and I'm going to explain why in a moment here, but what you're looking at are three different designs for the US dime that occurred during the 20th century. And the background of the dime dates back to the Roman times with the denarius. And the denarius started out with a much larger or thicker, weightier silver coin at 6.8 grams than its predecessor. And eventually, the one that we recognize most often is about 4.5 grams. But as time went on, there was some debasement in the coins. And eventually, Nero, especially the Emperor Nero, took out a lot of silver down to 3.9 grams, and it ended up around the late 3rd century weighing in at about 3 grams. But nonetheless, it is under very common knowledge that one of those denarii would about equal a day's labor for a vineyard worker or farmer. So essentially, a couple of these dimes that you see before you would equal a day's wage back in that day. So that's very fascinating to see, to know that, but also it's interesting to note that under the U.S. Department of Labor, the first minimum wage law came into being in 1938, had a minimum hourly wage of 25 cents an hour. Those were silver dimes back then. But what you see here now before you is a silver 1/10 ounce round, generic round. And I would not recommend purchasing these, as the cost of production and the like, and the premium on these 1/10 ounce coins is extremely high. Whereas if you were to buy the regular 10-cent silver coins that you saw earlier, they would be a much better investment as far as the dollar cost averaging for buyers out there. But these 10th ounce rounds are very nice, and I've got a few of them just because I think they're pretty interesting. But if you want a dollar cost average out and recognizability, and probably less likely that these would be counterfeited as well, the Mercury dime is my favorite because you're more likely to find more of those in decent shape and condition, whereas the earlier barbers especially tended to wear very quickly and created what is commonly known as slicks. But the Roosevelt dime as well is very nice between up until our debasement year, which is 1964, was the last year of the silver content in those dimes. When I'm at my local coin shop and searching for silver dimes, I tend to look in the bin that has them sold in bulk at a per dollar range. In other words, 15 per dollar, or $15 per dollar, and the like, and pick the best ones out of that group that have the fullest strikes and the like. And here you're looking at some of those. Some of these I paid a little bit more for just because I'm also a collector, and I like nice, full, clean coins there. And the dime is a perfect way, especially if you're on a tight budget. The silver dime is a pre-made, ready coin that can be purchased to keep your dollar cost average down. And be very wary though, because some sellers will sell these as numismatic pieces, and really they aren't, although some of these probably could be considered as such. Some of these I paid well over $2 a coin for. But even at that price, I think it's well worth to hold on to and to stack these silver dimes especially. They're affordable, and they have a lot of history behind them. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'd like to extend a multitude of gratitude to you all for watching, and thanks again to Mr. Vaughan. Please rate, comment, and subscribe.